Hey guys, it's your girl Erin, here to talk about books. So I have been reading all night, all morning, and all afternoon, and I'm almost finished with 2 books. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey and Crank by Ellen Hopkins. I am loving the books, oh my gosh. But right now I wanted to talk about my mid-March book haul. So there are a lot on this list. So let's get started. The first book I have is The Witch Hunter by Virginia Boaker. This is a fantasy fiction novel, and it's about this girl named Elizabeth Grey who is a witch hunter, but when she's accused of being a witch, her savior is the enemy Nicholas Perival, who is a powerful wizard. And when her past is found out, being burned at the stake as a witch is the least of her problems. Reviews say that the novel is a mix of Graceling meets Game of Thrones, so I am totally in. Oh my gosh. And the rating is a 3.8 out of 5 on Goodreads, although I'm definitely going to give my own rating. The next book I have is Wit the King Slayer, also by Virginia Boaker. This is the second book in the series, and it's another fantasy fiction novel. And it's about Elizabeth Grey's former master, Blackwell, who has been revealed as a terrifying dark wizard, and he has crowned himself the King of Anglia. The healer in Book 1 gave Elizabeth powers of stigma to save the life of the one she loves, but it would change him beyond belief. I have no idea because I haven't read the book yet, but with only her strength to rely on now, Elizabeth must overcome her dilemmas with Blackwell, and she wonders if she must sacrifice herself in the process. So I'm totally into this from the beginning, so I can't wait to start reading it. The next book I have is Crank by Ellen Hopkins. This is a young adult fiction poetry novel, and even though it's 537 pages, it's a really quick read just because there are so few words on the pages, which is admirable to some people, I don't know. But I just picked this up and I love it. And it's about this girl named Christina who goes from a good-natured high school junior to a drug addict on meth, crank. And she falls hard as her addiction gets worse and worse. And I can't wait to see where the series goes, because even though I don't like many of the characters, the writing style is so incredible that I absolutely love it. And the rating is a 4.2 out of 5 on Goodreads. I'm giving it a much higher review, even though it can only go to 5, but so far I would give it a 10 out of 5 stars if I could. And actually, I read the book in like 5 days, and I wasn't actually liking any of the characters, but the book got its hooks in me, pardon the pun, so I bought the next 2 books in the series in a nanosecond, and I can't wait to start reading those either. The next book we have is Glass by Ellen Hopkins. This is another young adult fiction poetry novel, and it's about Christina, who's given birth to a son who she's named Huntress, and she thinks she can stop her addiction to meth now that she has a son to look after, but her addiction is stronger than ever. And I am so drawn to it. I can't wait to read it. The third book in the Crank series is Fallout, and do I need to say what genre it is, just because the other 2 books are the same? And Christina has 5 children now, as spoilers are spoken, 3 of whom are quite present in the novel: Hunter, Autumn, and Summer, and Christina is the only one linking them all. All 5 of the kids are living in different homes with different parents and guardians, and Christina's mother adopted Hunter. So his mother is his sister, and his grandmother is his adoptive mother, which is like a Maury episode on all its own, or a Jerry Springer episode, or whoever else I can think of right now. Steve Wilkos, maybe. I don't know. And the weird thing is, all of the kids, they, barely even know each other so far, and Autumn lives with her father, Trey, and Summer is sent to foster care all her childhood, and I don't know where Christina is in all this, but she's given herself over to her alter ego, Bree, who is the alter ego addicted to meth. So that's another Jerry Springer episode on all its own. Next, we have The Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, and this is this is a young adult fiction fantasy novel, and to quote what the summary states on Goodreads, "Welcome to the world of Grisha. Kaz Brecker and his crew of deadly outcasts have just pulled off a heist so daring even they didn't think they could survive. But instead of divvying up the reward, they're right back to fighting for their lives." Well, if I don't know anything about you, I'm totally into the series. Oh my gosh. I've heard that you should read the Shadow and Bone trilogy before you read the Six of Crows duology, so I'm totally into it already. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I can't express that enough. Next we have Hunted by Megan Spooner, which is a young adult fiction and fantasy novel. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, which is my favorite fairy tale since I was little. And Beauty knows the Beast's forest in her bones and in her blood. So Huntress Eva enjoys exploring the forest and solitary, and it's free of idle chatter, as it's quoted. And she searches for her father after he loses his mind after they lose their house and fortune. And Eva's father goes missing in the woods, so as she searches for him, she finds a cursed valley, a ruined castle, a whole new world, and within the castle, the Beast himself. So this is a 4.1 out of 5 on the Barnes & Noble website, and I can't wait to read it. Most likely I'll be able to read it within, like, a couple days, like 3 days at the most, maybe. I've heard great reviews on Seafire by Natalie C. Parker, so I'm totally into this already. And not only because Jessie the Reader, another booktuber, recommended it, but I'm just so into, like, the mythical creatures like mermaids and sirens, and that's pretty much what this is. So it's like, The Little Mermaid on steroids, but really great. Not that The Little Mermaid was terrible to begin with, but that was great. But I still think I'm gonna like Seafire a lot better. With Seafire, there's this girl named Caledonia, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm just gonna call her Caledonia Styx. Her family is killed by the warlord Eric Altair and his bloodthirsty band of bullets. So she becomes captain of the Morse Navis, and Caledonia and her all-female crew hunt down Lord Eric to avenge the death of their loved ones. And this is ranked as a 3.9 out of 5 on Goodreads, so I am definitely trusting the reviews, and I'm actually not wanting any spoilers because I want to be surprised with this book. Next, we have the Shatter Me Trilogy, which is written by Tahera Mafi, and this is a young adult fiction romance series, and it's a dystopian thriller. This novel series focuses on a girl named Juliet, who is a girl with a lethal touch. And I can tell you, I have a mean left hook that can knock you down in one punch if you're, like, on an even playing field with me and not playing dirty. But I don't have a lethal touch as in if I punch you, I kill you. No, I just punch you and then you get a bruise on your cheek. But I just think to myself, I'm sold on this already. And I seriously can't wait to read the series just because it's books, so how can I resist? But I really don't know. In the second book, Unravel Me, Juliet can kill anyone with a single touch, but somehow this boy named Warner has a strange immunity to her Vulcan death grip, and she needs protection against him, but she also can't kill him, so she's running into problems. Now, I've received some mixed reviews on the books, but I'm going to see for myself how great it is, because I have read so few books that I didn't like. The first two that come to mind are Falls the Shadow and The Innocent Mage. And those are just 2 books out of the 700 I have that I don't like, because there's literally so few books that I don't like. And then the third book in the series, Ignite Me, Omega Point is destroyed. I have no idea what that is yet. But Juliet doesn't know if the rebels, her friends, or Adam, I don't know who Adam is either, are alive or dead, and she now tries to take down the Reestablishment. So I haven't read the first 2 books in this series, and I'm confused on what the 3rd book is going on, and I want to know what this all means, so eventually I'm going to be able to read this all. But I only have 1 lifetime to read all these books, and I have 700 books. So I'm wondering, if I'm immortal, I need to catch up on my reading. As funny as that sounds. The final book that I have for my mid-March book haul is Deathcaster by Cinda Williams-Chima. And this is a young adult fiction fantasy adventure novel. It's the final book of the Shattered Realms series, and Alyssa Anna Reza is a prisoner of Empress Celestine, and she will do anything to protect her home of the Fells and the Grey Wolf line. I have not finished the 7 Realms series yet. I'm on book 2 or 3, I can't remember. But I can't wait to read the rest of the series because I'm already hooked on it. I want to know what happens to Reza, who she marries, what happens to Han Cuffs Alistair, and what happens to Micah Bayar, because even though he's the antagonist in the first book, he's kind of my type. I mean, tall, dark, handsome, magical, powerful, and that just describes half the guys I have a crush on. So anyway, that is it for today. I hope you really enjoyed this book review. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my BookTube channel for a lot more BookTube videos. And have a great day, everyone!